My experience with How I Met Your Mother could be summed up like the following.
I'm excited. Oh my god, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life!
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
Boring!
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, me, like many people on the internet, was not that impressed with the How I Met Your Mother finale. And I think the biggest reason for that is because the well ran dry. See, a good series knows when to leave off and try something a bit different. But How I Met Your Mother had the unique appeal of us all tuning in every week to find out how the title pays off. How did Ted meet the mother? And what does she look like? For those of you who have never seen the show, let me sum this up very quickly. Our protagonist, Ted Mosby, is telling his two kids the story of how he met their mother. The story starts off in 2005 when the series kicked off, all the way up to 2014, with various flash forwards put in and sliced in throughout the episodes. As part of the story, are other characters such as Robin, his on-again, off-again love interest throughout the series, his friend Barney, a pickup artist who is legend, wait for it, Dairy, Marshall and Lily, his other friends who are engaged / married / get the kids throughout the entire series. Throughout the 208 episodes, we laughed with these people, we cried with these people, we debated amongst ourselves, all the while speculating who eventually would become Ted's wife. After the longest dick tease in history, at the end of season 8, for 2 seconds, we finally get to see what the wife looks like. Up to this point, the show had been running in real time, so when it was 2005 in the show, it was 2005 with us watching. Season 9 decided to take something a bit different and have the entire season over the course of the weekend that Barney and Robin were getting married, and the mother was playing in the band. All the members of the group get to meet the mother throughout the various episodes in season 9, and finally, in the very last season finale, Ted meets the mother at the wedding reception. So far, everything should have led to a very satisfying conclusion, right?
Wrong!
You don't watch my show very often, do you? This is not only where the show stumbled at the finish line, it saw it, turned around, and legged it in the other direction. It was ripped to pieces by fans and critics alike. Of course, there were some of those who actually thought this was a really great episode. There are also people out there who think drinking their own urine is a good idea. No accounting for taste, right? So, what went wrong? What caused so much backlash that the alternative ending that was released with the DVD box set was praised unanimously over what we got? The two-part finale jumps around with timelines a bit, so I've tried to streamline it a little better. But you'll get the idea.
The son of a bitch did it.
He really did.
Ted's at the wedding reception of Barney and Robin, and he finally sees the mother, whose name is Tracy, by the way. Barney realizes that they are both signal and decides to play Have You Met Ted?
Grape Scotch!
She is perfect for you. And has she met you? No, she has not. Think of all the sex you're gonna have.
But Ted says no, he needs to go and catch his train. The gang all head outside and say their goodbyes to him, thinking this might be the last time they get to see him for a long, long while. It is really very touching. In fact, credit where credit's due, 90% of the first part of the season finale was really, really good. The emotional parts hit home, and the comedy was actually very funny. Ted is now at the train station telling the story to the old lady, which is where we started season 9. The old lady suggests Ted goes back to the wedding and talk to the girl, but him being the shy person he is, he didn't think it's a good idea, and if it was meant to happen, it was meant to happen. The lady then points over to the corner of the train station where Tracy's just arrived. He's a little bit reluctant because he says in the next 24 hours, things are going to be completely different. 24 hours later, at McLaren's pub, Marshall and Lily are thinking how different it is now that he's not there, turn around, and he's sitting in their booth.
Are you kidding me? Oh, hey, what are you doing in New York? Aren't you supposed to be in Chicago?
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that.
What?
I'm not moving to Chicago.
Obviously a little confused, they ask what in the world he's doing there. He says he's no longer moving to Chicago because he met a girl. He decides to call Tracy, while Marshall recommends waiting for the 3-day rule. Marshall turns to Lily and said Ted is going to blow this opportunity with his normal behavior. But Lily counters, no, this is different.
He ends up blowing it. I can't take this anymore. He's fallen in love so many times now.
Not like this.
Okay, hang on a second. We, the audience, know Ted and Tracy are going to get together. But how do they? How are his actions any different from anything he's ever done? Where did that statement come from, Lily? What are you basing this on? The answer, it hasn't. This stupid line means nothing. In fact, this is our first major issue, not only just with the finale, but the entirety of Season 9. They're trying to tie up all the loose ends to hell with continuity or sense. I know they set up a lot of things through Seasons 1 to 8, but you can't all push it all together and hope something sticks to the wall at the end of Season 9. It looks lazy. 2015, Barney and Robin and Ted are sitting in a bar talking about his over-the-top wedding he is planning. Robin's career has taken off and Barney is slightly upset that she is everywhere but New York. Tracy comes in and says they can't get married in September because she's pregnant.
Because when I do get married, I kind of want to fit in my dress.
Why wouldn't you? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Aww, isn't that very sweet? Although, getting together and engaged in less than a year of knowing him, that does seem a little quick, but not a big issue. The thing that does make me raise an eyebrow is Ted has been engaged twice before, and are you meaning to tell me in all these times, especially with the other women he's dated and stuff, he's never worn condoms and never made sure they're on the pill? We have learned through 9 seasons that Ted may be a little bit emotionally reckless when it comes to love, but for the most part he's a practical guy. Again, this doesn't really make sense. It reeks of the writers trying desperately to make all the things fit. May 2016, the gang are in Ted's house. Marshall is back in corporate law and not liking it. Robin and Barney didn't enjoy Argentina either.
We got divorced.
What? Through the exchange, Lily is about to have a third baby. But you— Whoa! No, hold on! Barney and Robin got a divorce. Okay, a bit of backstories here if you're unfamiliar with the show. Throughout the 9 seasons, Robin and Barney have had this on-again, off-again relationship. Not only that, but they've also been a bit of a love triangle with Ted. Robin likes Barney, Barney is friends with Ted, Ted likes Robin, Robin likes Ted, Robin likes Barney. It goes on and on. For most of Season 5 onwards, it has quite literally just been Robin and Barney pursuing each other at different stages, eventually leading up to Season 8, and then finally Season 9 with the wedding. The entire premise of Season 9 was the wedding. And then you get them divorced 10 minutes into your finale? This leads to the second major issue. What was the point of Season 9? Why have your entire season revolve, be part of, allude, and tease to whether or not Robin and Barney get together, finally get them together, and then just take it away? It feels like the rug's just been pulled out from under us fans. It doesn't matter if whether or not as a fan we thought Barney and Robin should get together. Once a decision has been made, and you've put so much effort into it, at least stick to your guns. Anyway, Lily makes everyone promise they will start hanging out. I don't know about you, but at this point, I'd be very hesitant if I want to see any of these people again. October 2016, Lily and Marshall are in their apartment. They have decided they need to move somewhere bigger. They have a Halloween farewell apartment party. Robin comes to the party with no costume, and it's very awkward between Barney and her. Ted is wearing his ballot costume, and Robin has a flashback to her and Ted on the roof about waiting for the slutty pumpkin. Long story, you're better off not knowing. The mother is with him, and Robin says that she needs to go. Lily catches Robin about to leave and says the gang need to be here. Robin says the gang to her is a married couple who she never sees anymore and about to have the third kid. Her ex-husband hitting on a slutty cop in front of her, and the guy who she probably should have ended up with the beautiful mother of his child. Okay, you stop this show. You stop this right here. You wouldn't fucking dare. You would not dare try and put us into this situation with her pining after Ted again. Yeah, the third problem with the finale is the sudden change of characters' motivations. Seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? You've had a chance. No, I'm sorry. You've had hundreds of chances to be with Ted, but you chose Barney. We can accept that. What we cannot accept is a whiny bitch who is not emotionally mature enough to accept responsibilities that the course of your actions have led you to this point, and you can't complain that you don't have what you want because of your actions. Lily is upset, asking if their friendship is over. Robin says it will never be how it was, and they have lots of great stuff, but the 5 of them hanging out is not one of those things. And that was only part 1. We've still got to get through part 2. Barney is excited that they're all together at McLaren's, except for Robin. Barney says a new rule that anytime anyone mentions something sad, they have to stay out an extra hour. Ted said it's not really a huge moment. That is until Marshall comes in.
Yes, it is. I got a phone call today. Judge in Queens is retiring, so I'm gonna be a judge.
Barney then sees a redhead and tries to go after her. Lily grabs him by the tie and tells him off. He says he tried to change, but if it's not going to happen with Robin, it's not going to happen with anyone. I'm so glad that 13 years of character development from Barney's point of view can just be written out in one line like that. 2019, Lily, Marshall, Ted and Tracy are at Wrestlers vs. Robots. Ted and Tracy are still not married and Barney comes in drunk and upset. He attempted a perfect month, where he hit on a girl for every night successfully for the entire month. He put together a brand new playbook, and he succeeded. But number 31 is pregnant.
This is a disaster.
Why?
Why? Because I'm too old. I was about to enter my golden years, my Clooney years.
Show, are you meaning to tell me, with the literal hundreds of women Barney has dated and slept with, that he never used a condom? This is completely against his very nature. He puts so much time and effort and planning into trying to pick up women and just sleeping with them. And you mean to tell me he forgets to bring protection? Nope, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, show. Can't buy it at all. In 2020, Ted is talking about the G&B building to his daughter Penny, and Robin comes and says hello. Ted tells it to Lily and Marshall in the waiting room for Barney's love child. Barney is still not invested and still calls the woman number 31.
Number 31 won't let me in the delivery room.
We're gonna need a name eventually.
Mr. Stinson,
Yes.
congratulations.
Congratulations, because the blood test came back and I'm not the father? Happy Not a Father's Day!
No, congratulations. It's a girl. Would you like to meet her?
No, I'm good.
The child is a girl, and he holds Ellie for the first time, and he starts crying, and says sweet things to her, like he will always be there to look after her.
You are the love of my life. Everything I have and everything I am is yours. Forever.
Oh, way to save introducing another character to this woman who's essentially changed Barney's life. Because I know the guy who's carrying cigars in his pocket, in the off chance that this child is not his, is going to totally break down and become a completely different person now.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
You know, there is so much to hate in this episode that has nothing to do with Ted or Tracy. Back at Ted and Tracy's place, he asks for the ring back and re-proposes and says they're getting married on Thursday. Thursday comes round at the bar and Barney is falling asleep because of his baby keeping him up. It was fun seeing the tables reversed since he did that to the other guys before. He goes up to 2 good-looking girls with the gang thinking he is going to hit on them, and he tells them off to make better life choices now that he's a father.
It's like you're trying to make bad decisions. You young ladies need to go home, put on some decent clothes, and take a good hard look at your lives. Get Call your parents. They're probably worried sick.
Who the fuck is he to judge or even comment? One baby girl and all of a sudden he's become a saint? Fuck off. Do you know who else tries to tell people how they should live their lives because of what they think is right? Robin comes to the bar and they are all happy, and Marshall also tells him he's running for state Supreme Court. Tracy comes in her dress and she takes a photo of the group. Lily does a toast which they are all starting to cry. Ted voiceover while he ties the knot to Tracy and a photo montage of them together. He says how he always loved her and when she got sick they were still together.
And I carried it with me when she got sick. Even then, in what can only be called the worst of times, all I could do was thank God. Thank every God there is or ever was or will be, and the whole universe and anyone else I could possibly thank.
That's it? That's the only explanation you're going to give us? 9-season lead up, and she dies off screen? You were there and she just dies off screen? I'm sorry, I can't talk at this moment in time. I see murderous rage in front of me! I'll be right back, I'm just gonna go hit something. You know what? I can talk again. Fuck you, writers! Here's the fourth major problem of the show. The mother dies off screen and we get one line to explain it away. What the hell was the point of this series? You build this character up for 9 seasons, giving us little hints and pieces here, and then you just kill her off in the last season, in the last episode, without us really getting to know her. Throughout the last 2 seasons, it was alluded that the mother died. And you know what? That would have been okay. The episodes where we discuss that, they're really emotional, really heartfelt, and we kind of feel for it because we see it from Ted's point of view. I would have really enjoyed the finale if they'd focused just on Ted and Tracy, about this news, about her dying, about them finding each other but it's not going to work, them getting married but knowing what's coming at the end of the road. It would have been really sad. It would have been really heartbreaking, but it would have been good. A love lost story can be a really powerful storytelling technique. But what we got was the laziest writing you will ever see in any show that I've reviewed so far. Back at the train station, Ted walks over to her and they share the umbrella and they have a great cute exchange. Ted, much older now, says to the kids, "And that, kids, is how I met your mother." Okay. I would have hated this episode if they just left it here. I would have bitched and complained about the terrible writing, the character regression, all of that. But you know what? I would have been so much happier had this next part never existed. This is the most important reason why the season finale failed.
That's it.
That's it.
No, I don't buy it. That is not the reason you made us listen to this.
Oh, really? And what's the reason?
Let's look at the facts here. You made us sit down and listen to the story about how you met Mom, yet Mom is hardly in the story. No. This is a story about how you're totally in love with Aunt Robin. And you're thinking about asking her out, and you want to know if we're okay with it.
They are okay. And saying Tracy has been gone for 6 years and the kids encourage him to pick up the phone and call her. He is about to, but says, "or," and then we see Robin in her apartment. He stands outside with a blue French horn. The title card comes up with "How I Met Your Mother." We finish over 207 episodes, right back where we started. Right at the very beginning, episode 1, with Ted pining after Robin. No. You know what ending this actually was? This was a fan fiction ending. This was someone sitting in their mother's basement, typing in a computer in their underwear, making this crazy outlandish thing and sending it to the writers. The writers obviously picked this up for a bit of a joke, thought it was hilarious, but somehow it got put into the editing studio, and this is what they shot. You know what? This ending could have worked around about season 5, but not at season 9. I do have to give props to the actors. They all do a stellar job, and they all try to really push this turd into a nugget of gold. But no matter how much glitter you put on it, it still stinks. By starting off at the exact same point where we began this series, you essentially wasted 75.5 hours of my life. Do you know what I actually wanted to see in the last 2 episodes? The fucking mother! Any screen time we do get to see with them, they're either side characters or they're just like 3-second exchanges. And although I understand that it's been 6 years since Tracy died, kids, how about a little bit of emotion here? Your father is talking about your mother. What are you, ice children? An alternative ending was released with the DVD box set. It starts at the bar with everyone toasting the new Mr. and Mrs. Mosby and an older Ted voiceover saying how it was a long road but not difficult. It then sums up the entire series really quickly and then finishes with them at the train station. No mention of her dying, no Ted pining after Robin again. It's just them finishing where they should have finished. So why is this ending considered the better conclusion? Because it gives us the ending we needed. It gave us a purpose to the series, not a backhanded slap to the face. Barney and Robin are still divorced. Barney still has a love child with a nameless woman. The problems are still there, but this conclusion would make it a bad finale, not a pointless one. A bit of time has now passed since this finale was first aired, and while I still get angry, I mostly am just sad. I really loved this show, and even when it started heading south, I still stuck with it. Maybe you could call that like a captain on a sinking ship, but I thought it was loyalty. I hoped that my loyalty would be rewarded. I hoped this show would end in dignity, but it didn't. And for that, I really do pity How I Met Your Mother. You had so much potential, but you just stopped caring. So did we. There was talk of a spin-off show of How I Met Your Father, but that was thankfully axed. CBS might be looking at it again later on down the track, but the damage has been done. There's nothing more you can do to us, and I can almost guarantee you, none of the fans will be tuning into it. So what about you? Is there a season finale out there which is just so mind-blowingly bad that you cannot fathom what the writers were thinking? Let me know in the comments below. Now if you'll excuse me, I still need to go numb the pain.